8 in beautiful Barbados.
The CBC Headline News, brought to you by Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network.
The NUPW smiling after pay talks with airport management. Wills Primary joins the Water Warriors in assisting those with dry taps. And in sports, 4 games, 4 hat-tricks for a schoolboy striker.
The CBC Headline News, brought to you by Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
Good evening, I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC Evening News. In our top story tonight, the National Union of Public Workers is anticipating an early Christmas gift for the airport workers awaiting a long overdue salary increase. This should come in the form of an end to negotiations which will signal the beginning of payment. NUPW President Akani McDowell entered into 2-hour talks with airport management today, telling the CBC he expects no less than the offer he placed on the table. He says although the union is no longer demanding the 3.5% increase which led to protests early this year, the new figure, which he's keeping under wraps, should still satisfy workers.
We were able to come to an agreeable position, but remember that management has to go to their shareholder before they actually confirm that the amount that we ask for can be given. Plus, we have to go to our membership and let them know that we would have put a certain percentage on the table, and we have to determine whether or not they agree with what we would have put on the table. So negotiations, although we are in the latter stages of it, have not been completed as yet, and we are awaiting, basically, as I said before, we are just awaiting the shareholders to give confirmation.
Mr. McDowell described airport management as accommodating during today's meeting and says the groups are to meet again.
We are supposed to meet early November, and we're hoping that these discussions conclude before the end of November. So soon, hopefully, the workers of the Adams International Airport can see a salary increase. Just want to be able to conclude these discussions before the end of November.
Over 30,000 marijuana plants were burnt by police in their latest drug destruction exercise. Public Relations Officer, Acting Inspector Roland Cobbler, says quantities of cocaine were also incinerated.
Today you would have witnessed the destruction of a quantity of drugs which were seized during our drug interdiction and eradication exercises. 30,365 plants, 656 pounds of cannabis, 52 pounds of cocaine, and these drugs were seized in the District B, District C, and the Oystins station area. We will continue our drug eradication and eradication programs. We are cognizant and have first-hand experience of the dangers associated with drug use.
Police are also very concerned about the high number of minors using drugs, and they're urging the public to report any known cases.
What is more concerning is the results of a study conducted by the Criminal Justice and Research Planning Unit, which is suggesting that children as young as 7 years old in Barbados are using drugs. Therefore, I want to make an appeal for persons to continue to support us, provide the necessary information and intelligence to aid in our success. One must be mindful of the long-term impact this can have on our society as a whole. So we need to, continue to work collaboratively to secure our future.
The local judicial system imparts punishment not only to deter criminals, but also to rehabilitate. However, punishment in Barbados was much different in the 19th century. Last evening at Solidarity House, Senior Research Officer of the Criminal Justice Research and Planning Unit, Kim Ramsey, delivered a lecture entitled The History of Punishment in Barbados, Then and Now. She spoke of an unfamiliar tool, the treadmill.
Treadmills were used to inflict physical punishment on slaves from both the plantations as well as the towns. Slaves and apprentices were confined in stocks, shackled, weighted down with irons and flogged. In 1835, the government then had a treadmill installed at the Tongue Hall prison on Corey Street. As you can see, it has a horizontally placed rotation cylinder fitted with steps, which were painfully and endlessly trodden by inmates of both sexes.
Ms. Ramsey noted that there have been positive changes to the present-day system, but added that the country is still under pressure as it relates to the death penalty.
Even though the UK abolished their death penalty a year before we got independence, we did not incorporate that abolition into our laws. And it is important to note that even though we have agreed, and the bill is before Parliament, Cabinet, that we will repeal the mandatory death part, we'll remove that clause. There's no suggestion that Barbados is going to remove the death penalty anytime soon.
A truly nice initiative. This sentiment was expressed by the National Initiative for Service Excellence as it partnered with the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation during its Guardians of the Heritage initiative. The 21st flag was hoisted this morning as representatives from NICE and the CBC proudly looked on. Client Services Advisor of NICE, Tracy Austin, says Barbados has achieved a lot over the past 50 years and it is now a service-driven economy. She says Barbados is strong with all Barbadians playing a part.
With NICE, we are proud to salute this and to be a part of it and support all efforts to drive the national culture of excellence. We do that through our programs, through our conferences, through our workshops, and by the hard work of each staff member that is a part of our team. So on behalf of NICE, Barbados, happy 50th Jubilee, and may you see many, many more years of prosperous growth.
TV producer and presenter Belle Holder, who represented the CBC, says the Guardians of the Heritage initiative allows partnering companies to showcase their national pride.
To be a member of the CBC family and a Barbadian and to be a part of this initiative, I think it's a wonderful opportunity to celebrate our national pride, and also gives me pleasure to welcome the National Initiative for Service Excellence and all of your members on board, and I trust that it's a relationship that we can continue 50 years and beyond.
We'll take a break here, but when we come back, more news.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153# to sign up to Digicel today. Generation for family, commitment to you, for honesty, respect for one another in our community. Trident Insurance, this gem is home for me. With Trident Insurance, we treat you like family.
Barbados is celebrating 50 years of independence, and the CBC salutes the people of our nation.
We say respect to our forefathers who paved the way for us.
With admiration, we applaud those who uphold our honor and keep us in good stead.
And we encourage the builders of tomorrow, inspiring growth for a brighter future. A future where we all achieve our goals.
Happy Independence, Barbados!
CBC, celebrating our golden treasure.
Wills Primary School is the latest to join the local Water Warriors group, which donates bottled water to those in the parish of St. Joseph currently battling with the ongoing water shortage. There was a presentation at the Maxwell Institution this morning, and Principal Julie Franklin says it is the hope of the school to donate every 2 weeks.
A lot of our kids are from this area or, further up the coast, St. James and so on. So they are not seeing the struggles. Of course, some of their parents will be able to tell them that this is going on, but some do not. So it's good for them to know, you know what, even in this one small little island, we still have people who are going through this in 2016 that need some help. And it's not necessarily that there are these are not less fortunate people. What is unfortunate is they're not getting water through their pipes. And any way we can help, we would love to help. And Wills Primary is all about helping.
And teacher Shelley Roach says they're proud to be part of the initiative.
I think it's a great idea. It gives the children a good awareness of what's going on in the island and a way of helping others.
The Diabetes Association and the Ministry of Health are stressing that wellness and not treatment should be the focus for Barbadians hoping to defeat the disease. As the Diabetes Association and the Barbados Diabetes Foundation launched the week of activities to promote awareness, health professionals agreed to a good diet and exercise, and that should be paramount. Of special note was that 20% of the population is affected by diabetes, with 200 amputations taking place at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital annually. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Joy St. John says the Ministry of Health has been playing its part in the diabetes fight.
The ministry has invested in strengthening its NCD program at the Winston Scott Polyclinic and is providing new modalities for the improvement of the polyclinic-based services for diabetes care at the Edgar Cochrane and St. Philip Polyclinics. But Barbados will never be able to treat its way out of chronic disease. Prevention is the key, and wellness is the goal rather than management of illness.
A team of popular Barbadian personalities were selected to promote activities during Diabetes Month in November, including Bashment King Stiffy and comedian Seth Excel. The first will be an annual fun walk and run on November 6th, beginning at Massey and Warrens and ending at the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. CEO of the center, Callie Boyer, says it is one of the best facilities in the region for diabetes treatment, covering screening and all diabetes-related care, including physiotherapy and counseling.
This center is a multidisciplinary center providing specialized care for diabetics and also offering early detection. Some of the services we offer here include podiatry care, which is taking care of the foot, nutrition counseling to ensure we eat the right foods, monitoring the blood sugars, weight management, and retinal scanning related to the eyes.
Scores of Barbadians from all walks of life turned out to pay their final respects to the late John Lovell. The life of the former educator and trade unionist was celebrated at a service at the Belmont Methodist Church. In their eulogies, his children Charles Lovell and Dr. Pamela Gaskin described their father as a strict, devout Christian who always showed love and was community-minded.
They frowned on us using any of the four-letter words we heard in the street outside our home. And Dad especially insisted that we not take the Lord's name in vain.
Very often a teacher would bring a child to be punished, and the child would end up in the office with a seat, a drink, and a chat. That was his way of beginning to open communication with children, a method where you approach the child with love. In other words, suffer the little children to come on to me.
Meantime, Reverend Marcel Brathwaite urged the congregation to follow Mr. Lovell's example and build a relationship with God.
If we really truly respect and honor John today, we need to return to the Lord, who, as was said in our anthem, has been our guide for all of these years. Let us return to this holistic understanding of life where we embrace all.
Still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region.